Hello again, everyone. Mr. George here. Let's go ahead and begin the navigator now. Take a couple minutes to do this. Title page 31, Chicken Foot and Thesis, and then title page 32, Latin America, DBQ, Chicken Foot and Thesis. Okay, and then once you've done that, go ahead and review pages 22 through 30 just to make sure that those are complete. Take about 3 to 5 minutes to do so. Go ahead and pause the video and then just continue playing it when you are ready. Thank you. All right, hopefully you're ready to roll. Today we are going to continue with that objective to develop a proper thesis statement. That is our focus today. And your homework is to complete pages 31, Chicken Foot and Thesis, as well as 32, Latin America, DBQ, Chicken Foot and Thesis. So let's talk about what we did yesterday. So if you look back at page, I believe 30, right? If we look back at page 30, it is titled Research in Buckets. You picked a research question. The question I picked is, who's the greatest basketball player of all time? Then you were supposed to research details that will help you answer the question that you picked. And kind of list as much research as you can in the Northern Hemisphere of page 30. Then, based on that information, you needed to answer your question and provide 3 supporting reasons. So mine is, let's say if I picked Michael Jordan, I provide 3 reasons why Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I put 6 championships, made his teammates better, and never lost in the finals. What could be, those 3 supporting reasons. All right, so that is a review of what we did yesterday. If you were out yesterday or you didn't finish it, you can go back and watch that video, but make sure that is done before Monday. All right, let's continue here. So page 31, Chicken Foot and Thesis. I want you to do what you did, the same thing that you did yesterday. Divide the page into 2 hemispheres by drawing an equator. Label the hemispheres the following. The Northern Hemisphere, label it Chicken Foot. I know y'all sounds crazy, just hang with me here. And then the Southern Hemisphere thesis statement. Okay, go ahead and do that now, and I will go over here and do that as well. All right, so we have... Here I am in my digital notebook. I'm going to draw that line, dividing it in half. Okay, that's the equator exactly in the middle of the page. And I'm going to label the northern part of this Chicken Foot. All right. And then the Southern Hemisphere thesis statement. All right. So please, you feel free to pause the video now and get that done. And then once you are ready, just press play. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do in the northern part of this page. All right, we're gonna create an organizer here, and I'm gonna walk you through the steps. All right, so hang with me. All right, so I'm gonna draw my Chicken Foot organizer. You do the same thing as well. 1 line there, which is gonna be the leg of the chicken foot. And then we're gonna draw 3 more lines. 1, 2, and 3. All right, 3 lines. All right, go ahead and do that now. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. Now, on this organizer, here's what you need to do. Okay, and you're going to be assessed on this on Monday as well, based on our DBQ, our document-based question related to Latin America. But I want everybody, based on the question you answered, restate the question on the leg of the chicken foot. So if I go back to that, right, I'm going to restate my question. Now, again, the question that I picked was, who was the greatest basketball player of all time? When you restate a question, please restate the entire question as an answer. So instead of saying, who was the greatest basketball player of all time, I'm going to answer my question. I'm going to say, Michael Jordan was or is the greatest basketball player of all time. All right, I'm gonna like kind of answer that question and restate it as an answer. So if you're saying that what's better, band or orchestra, you need to pick one and say band is better than orchestra. All right, you restate, okay, and you answer that research question. Okay, you restate that question as an answer and provide your answer. So go ahead and do that now. Maybe it's the game console. You know, you can say PlayStation is the best game console. All right, so you're restating your question as an answer. So go ahead and do that now. Feel free to pause and then press play when you're ready to move forward. All right, so the next thing you need to do is write your supporting reasons on what I call the talons of the chicken foot organizer. So go back to that. We got our 3 talons here, right? The toes of the chicken, okay? Toes of the chicken foot. Now I'm gonna go back to page 30 and look at my 3 reasons. I got them right here. You could do the same thing. Go back to your buckets. So here I have 6 championships, made teammates better, never lost in the finals. I'm gonna go back to my chicken foot organizer and I'm gonna write those on those talons. I don't know if I can do it diagonal, so I'm gonna just write it in here. All right. Oops. 6 championships. Made teammates better. And never lost in the finals. All right, write my 3 reasons there. It's a little sloppy, but hang with me there. So you go ahead and do the same thing for your example. Feel free to pause the video and then press play when you're ready to move forward. All right, y'all, so here is the culminating activity of this. This is called the thesis statement. And there may be some differences. Different teachers may ask for different things, but here are the expectations that I want you to follow in my classroom when I ask for you to write a thesis statement. And here's the thing, y'all. Monday, as well as analyzing and reading document B from the DBQ, you are also going to write a thesis statement, okay? And it must be done well, okay? And these are the requirements of a thesis statement that I want you to nail down here. It must be, for me, in my classroom, must be 1 sentence. It must directly answer the question. Make sure you answer the question. Make sure that you properly restate the question. Make sure you include 3 reasons and don't use pronouns, okay? And I'm gonna explain that in a little bit, all right? So let's go back to your notebook and combine that chicken foot organizer to write a thesis statement. So here we go. I'm just gonna put it right down here. I got my chicken foot organizer above. So I'm gonna write Michael Jordan. I'm not gonna put he was the greatest basketball player of all time. That doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna say Michael Jordan is the greatest. What's the greatest what? Right? Greatest chef, right? Greatest musical artist, greatest actor. I mean, he was pretty legit in Space Jam. That could be true. That could be true. He was, I don't know, was better than LeBron James in Space Jam. Maybe that could be my 4th reason. All right, LeBron James. So I have to restate the entire question, y'all. You do the same thing. Is the greatest basketball player of all time. Okay? That's your stem. That's what you start out. That is properly restating the entire question. I don't want to say Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player. I want to make sure I restate the entire question, all right? So make sure you've done that. Feel free to pause if you need to. Now, I'm going to say because, and I'm going to write my 3 supporting reasons. And I'm going to try and do it as concise as possible. Try not to be too wordy, okay? So Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time because I'm going to use a pronoun because of 6 championships. I'm gonna say he here. It just sounds better. And I know I told you not to use pronouns. Don't use pronouns when you restate the question at the beginning, because he won 6 championships, made his teammates better, and never lost in the finals. There you go. All right. So if you look at that, y'all, I've restated the question right here. I restated it right there. All right. And then I provided my 3 supporting reasons. He won 6 championships, made his teammates better, and never lost in the finals. All right. So I have all of that. That is, for me, what I want you to focus on when writing and developing your thesis statement. All right, go ahead and write yours now, please. And when you're done, I would pause the video, write your thesis statement. When you're ready, come back and get ready to move on to page, we're gonna go back to 23 and then to page 32, okay? All right, y'all. So page 23. All right, here's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna stop what we're doing with our research question that we just made up and did for fun. We're gonna now go back to the Latin America DBQ. The question we have in the Latin America DBQ is, why did the Creoles lead the fight for Latin American independence? That is our question. If you go back to page 23, you need to make sure your buckets are labeled. We labeled them a while ago. They should be labeled pride, money, and fear. So make sure that they are labeled. I would do that now. Feel free to pause, double check. When you're ready, press play and come back to the video. Now, y'all, let's go to page 32 in your notebook, 32. We're gonna do the same thing we did before. We are going to draw an equator across the page, label the Northern Hemisphere chicken foot, the Southern Hemisphere thesis statement. Please do that now. Do the same thing along with you. All right. Equator, Northern Hemisphere chicken foot, Southern Hemisphere thesis statement. All right, that's what your page should look like at this point. And then go ahead and draw your amazing chicken foot organizer again. All right. Go ahead and draw that now. I'll give you a couple minutes to do so. Go ahead and pause the video. When you're ready to move on, just press play again. All right, so here's what I want you to do now. Apply your knowledge from page 31, what we just did with the chicken foot earlier, with our more, our fun question, I guess. And complete the chicken foot based on what you've learned from that on page 32, based on our DBQ, all right, to answer our DBQ question. And then you're going to apply knowledge from the previous thesis statement, what we did on page 31 with the thesis statement. Apply that same information to our Latin America DBQ. So let's go back and take a look. Again, our question, I'm going to write it in here for y'all so y'all can see it. All right, I'm going to put it in here for you. All right, why did the Creoles lead the fight for Latin American independence? All right, that's our question. All right? That's our question. And now, right, let's go through and make sure, complete this here. Rewrite the question on the stem or the leg of the chicken foot. All right? So if it's why did the Creoles lead the fight for Latin American independence? Restate that question. You're going to restate it. It's going to be the Creoles led the fight for Latin American independence. All right? Feel free to pause it if you need time to get that done. But write that in on your organizer. And then add our 3 reasons on the talons of the chicken foot. Which hopefully you know. Just go back to the buckets on page 23. Based on document A, right, we said pride. Document C was money. And document F was fear. They were scared that the other ethnic groups, the other groups, social classes, were going to revolt if they didn't, right? So that is what your chicken foot organizer should look like. Now, I'm not going to write this for you, write your thesis statement, because this is going to be, you can write a sample one if you want, because this is what you're going to be assessed on Monday. But feel free to write like a test one, a practice one. Get some feedback from your neighbors as you know later on, your friends as well in class. But make sure, y'all, before you do that your thesis statement meets these requirements. 1 sentence, directly answer the question, properly restate the question, includes 3 reasons, and don't include a pronoun. Don't include a pronoun in your answer. So don't say, they led the fight. That's not clear. And make sure you say, what fight? Don't just say, they led the fight. What fight? I don't know what fight you're talking about. So make sure that you restate the entire question. It is clear. Do not go in depth. Do not provide details. Just provide 3 supporting reasons. Properly state the question and provide 3 supporting reasons. All right? Go ahead and do that now. Just write your practice, a sample one, right there on page 32, and be prepared to write it on Monday for a formal grade or perform grade. All right? Go ahead and pause the video if you need time to get that done. All right, y'all, quick review. All right, and that'll be it. So we did a chicken foot organizer on page 31 to answer your question, your research question that you picked from yesterday's lesson. All right, so that's what you do. You restate the question with the answer on the leg of the chicken foot right here. All right, right here. That's where you do that. Then you provide the 3 buckets. You add them on the talons of the chicken foot. Here, talon 1, talon 2, and talon 3. Then you take that information and you combine it and write your proper thesis statement, meeting the expectations that we talked about before. You restate the question in its entirety, and then you provide your 3 reasons in a well-written, concise, short thesis statement. So my example is, Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time because he won 6 championships, made his teammates better, and never lost in the finals. All right, that would be my thesis statement. That's what we did first. And then we took that and we applied that same knowledge and skill to our Latin American DBQ to answer the question. Right, here's the question. I'll highlight it for you. Why did the Creoles lead the fight for Latin American independence? We restated the question there. We then wrote our reasons here. And then you need to combine it all to to a well-written thesis statement. All right, that is it, y'all. Hope you're doing well. Hope y'all have a great weekend. If you have extra time, okay, you can work on your extra credit extension for Latin America, your extension activity. All right, and y'all have a great day. Thank you.